Okay, my dear student, this is one more question. Show that 8 raised to the power of n cannot end with the digit 0 for any natural number. Before proceeding further, first and foremost, my dear students, where it is required to be written 8 raised to the power of n, you have to write 8 raised to the power of n only. Instead of this, if you are going to write 8n, then this is absolutely wrong. Don't even think that this is a silly mistake, and don't even think that examiner is going to ignore it. The student who doesn't know the difference between 3 raised to the power of 4 and 3 into 4, how do you expect that the examiner will give you marks? 3 raised to the power of 4 will give you rise to 81, 3 3s are 9, 3 3s are 9, 9 9s are 81, this is going to be 12. These are two different values. 3 raised to the power of 4 is 3 raised to the power of 4, 3 into 4 is 3 into 4. So similarly, 8 raised to the power of n is 8 raised to the power of 1 and 8n is 8n. You can't write 8n in place of this, and you have to be really very careful about this. You have to be very careful about this. Don't get, I am again and again telling my dear students, don't get scared, don't get discouraged, but improve yourself. See that you have got lots of space for improvement. Improve over there. This is first thing. Okay, now let us move from here. Let us leave this topic. Now come over here. Show that 8 raised to the power of n cannot end with the digit 0 for any natural number. See, my dear student, there is always a concept that is there with the question. Because tomorrow this thing can change in some other fashion also. Now what is it? First of all, when they ask you to tell that any number, any 8 raised to the power of n is not going to end with digit 0. Basically, if there is any 8 raised to the power of n, any value of 8 raised to the power of n, 8 raised to the power of 85, 8 raised to the power of anything, 50, whatever it is, when you have that value, if this value, if I would have got 8 to the power of 50, I don't know what that value is going to be. Multiplying 8 50 times, multiplying 8 73 times will be 8 raised to the power of 73. I don't know what these values are going to be. I don't know. Okay, but they can be 8 raised to the power of 111, 8 raised to the power of 1999. How am I going to get those values? But one thing is there, whatever these values are, whichever their numbers are, how many ever digits are there, these are all digits. I don't know the digits, but if the digit in the units place is going to be 0, if the digit in the units place is going to be 0, that means what is the property of this number? Whatever this number is, with whatever these digits, whatever are these digits, that number we don't know, but the number has a units place 0. The property of this number is that it has to be, if this is a number existing anywhere, then this number has to be divisible by 10. It has to be divisible by 10. Then only it will exist. That is the only property of a number which is got 0 in its units place. A number which has got 0 in its unit place, or they are telling which is ending with digit 0. I really hate this language. Ending with 0 is not a good language at all. I really don't know. But still, if it has got 0 in its units place, it means that this number will definitely be divisible by 10. Otherwise, it is not there. When I tell it is going to be divisible by 10, then basically it has to be factors 2 and 5. It has to be, this number has to be factors 2 and 5. This number needs to be having factor 2 and 5. Are you getting my dear students? So, and of course, here it can have other factors also. Huh? With 2 and 5, it can have 6 also, it can have 3 also, maybe, it can have 7 also. But 2 and 5 is needed. Are you getting my point? 2 and 5 is needed. This is the basic difference between the two questions. Now my topic is going somewhere else, my dear students. I have to go to that topic. See, this is the basic difference between the two questions. One question we have got is actually speaking where we have to identify irrational numbers. Non-terminating rational numbers. Rational numbers are of two types: terminating decimal number, non-terminating decimal numbers. This question we have got, and we needed to have the supposing 71 upon 60 or something like that. Whether this will be a terminating decimal or a non-terminating decimal, both are rational numbers. So in that case, we need to have in the denominator only the powers of 2 raised to the power of m into 5 raised to the power of n. Nobody else is allowed. Nobody else is allowed. You will have only 2 raised to the power of m and 5 raised to the power of n only. If the moment anything else is there, it can be a non-terminating decimal expansion. Are you getting, my dear students? This is what is there. Here nobody else is allowed. Here actually speaking, if you feel that we have got, supposing we have got 7 upon 8. So basically here I will be having 2 cube. There is nobody else. 5 is absent. But absent also is adjusted because 5 raised to the power of 0. This also is accepted. If 5 is absent, still it is accepted because m will be, if I compare with 2 raised to the power of m and 5 raised to the power of m is equal to 3 and n is equal to 0. This is still accepted. If 5 is absent, 2 is absent, you can give that their power is 0 and bring it. But anything other than 2 and 5 is present, that is not right. 2 and 5 are supposed to be there and they only are supposed to be there. If either 2 is missing, then also we can include that 2 raised to the power of 0. 5 is missing, I can include that 5 raised to the power of 0. And still it will be a terminating decimal expansion. This will be a terminating decimal expansion. Are you getting my point? So here, but this is not the case with, to consider 7 raised to the power of n ends with digit 0. If it has to end with digit 0, that means 7 raised to the power of n, this number, whichever that is, after getting this digit in units place is 0, then this number should have only 2 raised to the power of something and 5 raised to the power of something. Are you getting? They should have this. They should have this. And they can have something else. No problem. They can have something else also. But they need to have 2 and 2, 5. Here something else is there, not accepted. Here something else is there, accepted. 2 and 5 has to be there. Missing is not accepted. Try to understand the difference between the two. When you are proving them they are non-terminating decimal expansions, at that time 2 and 5 only should be there. Anything other than 2 and 5 is there, it is not accepted. Then they will be not non-terminating decimal expansions. Of course, you have to first simplify this. Okay? Here, but what happens? Here 2 and 5 is needed. Anything else is there, chalega. Here if 2 is missing, 5 is missing, I can write the power 0 and include it. Here if 2 is missing, nahi chalega. 5 is missing, nahi chalega. 2 and 5 need to be there. With 2 and 5 anything is there, still it is chalega. Are you all getting, my dear students? So that is the thing. That is the, basically that is the property of a number which is basically having 0 in its units place. Are you getting, my dear students? Same question if supposing they would have asked 7 raised to the power of n ends with 5. Now the number which is ending with 5, does it need to have 2 and 5 both? No. Only 5 is sufficient. If this expansion has only 5, then also it is accepted because 5 needs only 5. Just I can't receive 75. This needs only 5. This can be divisible by 5. Why should you require 5 and 2 both? Why you require 10? Actually 10 will not divide it. You require a number which has only 5 to divide this. So at that time, you have to check whether 7 has 5 as its factor or not. 2 is there or not there. Okay, it will carry on. 5 has to be the factor. Are you getting? This is what actually speaking you have to identify the property of the numbers. The property of the number ending with 0 should have factors 2 and 5 both. Property ending with number 5 should have factors 5. Should have a factor 5. Are you getting it? That time you are not going to compare whether 2 and 5 both are there. 2 is not there, chalega. 5 has to be there. 2 is there, 7 is there, 9 is there, everything chalega, but 5 has to be there. If 5 is there, it is going to end with digit 5. 5 is not there, it is not going to end with digit 5. Then let anybody else will be there. So that is what is going to happen. And same thing you are going to write it over here. See here, what they are telling is that 8 raised to the power of n, can it end with digit 0? Okay. Now here, if I take prime factorization of 8 raised to the power of n is equal to what? 2 cube raised to the power of n. Means that is equal to 2 raised to the power of 3n. Right? These are the prime factors. Here, who is missing? 5 is missing. Who should be there? 2 and 5 both should be there. So you write it over there. For basically for the 8 raised to the power of n to end, for 8 raised to the power of n to end with digit 0, it should have 2 and 5 as prime factors. This should be there, but 8 raised to the power of n has prime factors 2 only. Raised to the power of 3, uska prime factor is 2. And then, and uniqueness of fundamental theorem of arithmetic guarantees that there are no other prime factors of 8 raised to the power of n. Hence, 5 is not a factor of 8 raised to the power of n. Therefore, 8 raised to the power of n will not end with digit 0. See, try to understand what we are doing, why we are doing. And one more thing, my dear students, whatever solutions that I am submitting you all people. See, these question papers, actually speaking, to be frank and honest, I am getting this question paper from number of resources, from other resources. I teach and then I get the question papers because I also should know what my students are doing, how my students are doing. Okay, so this is not only your test, this is my test also, that how my students are preparing for themselves. So whenever these question papers I get from anywhere, I get the solution from there. But these solutions basically will be of their type. They are only a guideline for us. We don't have to actually follow these solutions only. No. We should have our way of approach to the solutions, and that is more important. If you have understood the concept of this, and what is the concept of this? The main thing is whether we have to judge that 8 raised to the power of n will be ending with digit 0 or not. The main thing is that this is the concept. 8 raised to the power of n, any number raised to the power of n will end with the digit 0, then it will have 2 and 5 as a prime factor. It will have 2 and 5 as a prime factor. This is the main concept. And what are the prime factors of 8 raised to the power of n? Only 2. Only 2. Here, instead of 8 raised to the power of n, tomorrow if they write 15 raised to the power of n, 15 raised to the power of n has what? 3 into 5 raised to the power of n. So what it is going to be? 3 into 5 raised to the power of n. So who are present? 5 is present. Who is missing? 2 is missing. So I will write over here, but 15 raised to the power of n has prime factor 3 and 5. 3 and 5. Who is missing? 2 is missing. And uniqueness of fundamental theorem of arithmetic progression guarantees that there are no other prime factor of 8 raised to the power of n. Hence, 2 is not a factor of 15 raised to the power of n. Hence, 15 raised to the power of n will not end with digit 0. See, basically this is the concept, that it should have 2 and 5 both. Who is present, that you should bring it to notice, and who is missing, that also you should bring it to notice. And while doing that, you should have your set of thoughts, your set of solution. Stick to that set of solution. Don't run here and there with the other different type of solutions. No, as long as your thought process is going fine. See, first I kept my prime factors ready. These are my prime factors. Then I brought it the concept that this is the concept. If the numbers are supposed to end with 0, then they should have factors 2 and 5 both. Then I again brought you to notice, but that I have got the prime factors over here are this. And then the theorem guarantees that once these are the factors, then no more factors can be there. I can't discover, I can't add new factors. So this is the missing factor, and that's why this will not end with 0. And this I am alarming my dear student. Tomorrow if you have a question where it is going to be ending with digit 5, at that time the concept will be for 8 raised to the power of n to end with digit 5, it should have 5 as prime factor. At that time 2 will not come, because 5 ke liye 5 only should be the factor. And then you should see over here, but here the factor is 2 raised to the power of 3 and factor is 2. Uniqueness guarantees that 5 is not a factor. Therefore, it will not end with digit 5. I hope I am getting clear. My dear students, just write 3-4 times, write and see whether all your thoughts are coming in process. Don't get worried. Discover your own solution, not solution, very wrong. Discover your own presentation. In what way are you going to write? And be firm. Once you have understood that this is the concept and I am bringing everything into the notice and presenting properly everything on my paper, then stick to it. बाकी कोई कुछ भी बोलेगा, हमको हमारे तरीके से जानेगा. Okay, my dear students, one more very important question.